Hey, do you want me to make you the host or the co-host?
You can make me a co-host. Are you going to stay on?
Shoot, sorry, my volume's down. Say it again.
Are you going to stay on?
Yeah, I can stay on.
For now, and then just make me a co-host. If you need to leave, make me a co-host, a main host.
Okay, co-host.
Yeah.
Perfect. I just shared with you.
Okay. Can you send me the roster? Oh, wait, I think this is the roster here. I think this should be update. Do you think people will be on? It's already 9:57. What's up? What's good?
It went out today on our text blast.
Yeah. Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Do you need to or no?
Oh, it just was automatic.
Got it.
Yeah. Should I stop it from recording?
No, it's fine. Oh, man. Everything all right over there in the office?
Yeah. So far, so good. Just a hiccup, I guess, with some mail from another office for one of the agents here that was given to somebody who gave it to somebody who was supposed to give it to someone here, and it never happened.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But so other than that, so far, so good.
Okay. Have you been checking the mail upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And no agents have been asking questions?
Not questions that I didn't know how to answer.
Okay.
So
yeah,
there was
good.
one, we got a piece of mail for, I don't know if you're familiar with them. It was Ritz.
Yeah.
Ritz and Jess.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
That goes to Jessica Flores.
Oh, let me write that down. Okay, I was like, I asked Jocelyn if she knew who that was, and she said no.
Yeah.
So I just was like, well, I'll hold on to it.
Yeah,
I think it was
Jessica
junk
Flores.
mail, but okay.
Did she move in already?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. But she already had transferred all her stuff over here, right? Flores.
Unless it was before my time, it hasn't happened since I've been here. Let me look in the folder.
I think Rob had mentioned it could happen. Maybe it didn't yet.
I do see she does have an intake packet, but it looks like it was completed on February 18th.
Okay, maybe she's already in here.
Yeah. So
I want to put myself on mute for 1 second, all right? Or a couple minutes. Hold on. No one here yet, huh? What's good? What is going
Is it,
uh,
is there normally people on it?
yeah, but the last few days, the last few times, no one really.
Oh, hmm. Well, should we just wait for a few more minutes and then,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm gonna actually blast something right now.
okay,
I'm gonna drop a voicemail to everyone.
okay, cool. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to
Okay,
the restroom.
that's fine. What's up, Nelson? What's up, Rosie? How's it going?
Hi. Hi, Rosie.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Oops. I don't know why my video comes and goes.
So, Mark, did you see the Angels picked up a new player that's been in the minor leagues for years? Gosh, I forgot the guy's name. And he started for the game. He started yesterday. Dustin Wise posted something on Instagram about him. He went to my university, Vanguard University in Costa Mesa. It's a D3 school, and he made it to the major league pro level. I'll
Wow,
send
and
you
how many
the
years in
name of
the
the guy.
minors?
Yeah, he was in the minors, but he got picked up by the Angels. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but I have the article. Even Luis Guevara, because he knows I went to Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me the article too.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so stoked for the guy. Jose Rojas, 28, finally breaks through the big leagues with the Angels.
28. Well, that's
Yeah,
good,
28
man.
years old. So who
Yeah,
knows how long he was in the minors,
yeah, no, definitely.
So he went to Anaheim High and then went to Vanguard University. So local guy.
He's a pitcher.
No, he's a infielder, I think, or outfield. He's not a pitcher.
Mm-hmm. Well, he wouldn't be able to crack it like AA in the Dodgers organization.
Oh man, I know. It's tough. So hi, Cassidy.
Hey there. How's it going?
Good to see you.
Good, you too.
Can I ask you a question, Mark?
Go right ahead, Rosie. This is gonna be looks like an
yeah.
intimate session.
Yeah, okay. Oh, everybody is late, huh? 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you help me out on this? Okay, so
Sure.
the offer was accepted, and we had a counter offer, and you know how they want more money for the and remove the appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't remove the appraisal. She was okay with it. And she said, whatever the appraisal comes in, and then we give certain amount of money above the appraised value, right? So we agreed to that.
Okay.
Now the appraisal came in way lower than probably what she was anticipating.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wants to, the seller's counter offer was that he agreed to whatever the appraised value comes in, and then we give so much money on top of that. But now that the appraisal came in much lower, now she wants us to give more money than what we have agreed upon on the seller's counter offer. Is that valid?
It is valid because you're still in agreement. She could,
Yeah.
they could still not move forward with it because it's not where they want it to be sold at. I mean, you would pay the difference, but now the seller's like, wow, it's just too low. So I mean, you talk to Nick. I mean, in essence, what if they can't even make the deal happen because now it won't pay off the whole thing?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
How much was it off, Rosie?
It was off 61,000 lower.
Wow. Okay. And is there did you guys do a rebuttal on the appraisal?
They're doing it right now.
They're doing it right now. Are you helping out with the comparables or just the agent?
No, I am too. There's none. There is only one. One that
Oh,
he
there was
missed. Only one that he missed, and nothing impending that is good. So yeah.
No closed sales.
Yeah. What are you seeing on your part? Do you see in the appraisals? Because I talked to another colleague and he said that the appraisals are coming in lower.
I guess it all depends on how the agents are presenting it. If they're being proactive, that's a key word. Proactive is always key. Instead of waiting and just giving comps after the fact, I give them comps and not just the comps. And I give them the reason why they shouldn't use it or why they should use this more. So I make the appraisal for them, really. The last one we did yesterday it came in listed at 1.29 or 1.25 or no 1.29. I comped it maybe close to 1.25 and it came in at the offer. We placed it at 1.31.
Wow.
And this was the highest. There was nothing really above it and it still came in. I want to say within the last like 8 deals we did, only one came in lower. And that was
everything
townhome
at offer price.
At price. At price, yep. The one that came in lower was 5,000. It was a townhome in Hawaiian Gardens, and it came in $5,000. That's 430 and 425.
I called another agent who does a lot of buyers as well, and she said there a lot of her appraisals are coming in lower, and so as the I call one of the lenders. Do we have a lender in here? No, not yet, huh?
No, not yet.
And I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I've seen a lot of appraisals coming in lower."
Do you know which areas this is in?
The ones are coming in lower?
Yeah.
On mine?
Or no, the one you spoke to. Yeah.
Oh, she's all over the place, but she said that in LA. She's selling in LA a lot.
So what I've seen in LA, there's the inventory is a little, especially closer to downtown, the inventory is a little bit more there. You have at least a month and a half. Days on the market are closer to like 45 days to 50 days. There's an exodus outside that LA area because that's very super urban and people are now working remotely. I think, Nelson, you've seen that, right? Right. So I think that could be a declining area there from what I've seen.
Really?
I could be wrong. It could be just skepticism in the beginning part of it.
Well, I mean, I've talked to several agents with the listings, right? And they look at all the offers coming in, and then they solidify the strongest 3 to 5, maybe 6 offers, making sure that they have enough reserves in case the appraisal comes in lower than the offer price, whether it's 50, 60,000 less than what the offer was accepted at, so they can put in their reserves and close escrow and not go back to the drawing board and saying, oh, we fell out of escrow on this offer. So I was picking his brain on it because you have to have more reserves if you're gonna get the offer accepted, you know. And I actually had an agent call me, and it's actually for Luis Guevara's deal.
Mhm.
He's like, hey, I know you know Luis, I'm putting in an offer. And Luis did him a favor. He's like, yeah, okay, you know, Nelson, let's put the two together. And he's like, okay, this is where you need to be. And I think he was one of 3 or 4 finalists, and he dropped off. He's like, oh, it's a little too much for us. So, I mean, times are changing, right? We need to stand out a little bit more. And what do you do if you do accept an offer, Mark or Rosie or even Kathy on the call? What do you do if your offer does get accepted and your buyers aren't as strong, right? I mean, what are some good nuggets there?
If you're representing the buyer and your buyer's not strong in terms of the financial side.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you finally let's say you get it, but for some reason the appraisal comes in lower, and you're 25, 40,000 in above the appraisal value. You got to bite the bullet somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Rosie did. She put the cap on, which was beneficial, and still the seller's not obligated. I mean, they have the right not to sell at that price too, right? Because especially if it comes in lower, I mean, they could definitely take care of that. I would say it's all about expectations up front, right? That's the key thing, Rosie. It's giving the expectation. You did right for your client. Definitely did right. What's up, Adam?
What's happening?
What's up, Adam?
Rosie, did I kind of help you out?
Yeah, you did. Thanks. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we can't come out with 65,000, you know, out of pocket. And she knew from the get-go.
Yeah.
So now she's coming up, you know, letting us know that. Well, what is it? So we're just waiting and see what's going to happen.
I think Eunice, you just had a property in San Dimas. It came in short of the appraisal. How much was it short?
15,000 under. However, they were prepped, when we were talking about it, they kept going lower and lower on the what if scenario. And I gave them the comps, so I knew it wouldn't go as low as they were fearing, but in their minds, they were prepped to come up with like $100,000 cash.
Can you give us a parameter? Like you said, it's $15,000. So what did you feel that the comps were going to be at, and then what did you guys offer at?
So it was listed at 739. And we are in escrow for 830, I think. Sorry, we're getting our flooring done, so it's loud. And the appraisal came in 15,000 under. We thought it would come in around 780 to 790. Okay, sorry, sorry.
It's okay. 780, 790. Okay, perfect. So there are going to be some discrepancies, right, Rosie? I think that's going to happen all the time.
Yeah, well,
just how much
she wanted it a higher offer, so I did my due diligence and I found out that okay, so we have this one's in escrow right now, and I didn't see comps, so I try to talk to the agent and say, hey, you know what, we would love to come higher, but I don't see no comps. And she was, oh yeah, it's gonna appraise and blah blah blah. And she countered me with the higher, okay, if it doesn't appraise, your buyer willing to pay this much above the listed price. And we agree in the middle, but now she probably thought that it was going to be appraised much higher.
Yeah.
One of the things that what's his name? Nick suggested is to do another appraisal. So I'm going to suggest that to the listing agent once we get the other one back. We reboot all the appraisals, so we'll see what happens. Okay. That's what we can do. Wait.
No, definitely. Yeah. Connie, how's it going?
Yes, sir. Going good. Okay.
What's good? All right. Well, you know, when I used to host the Inner Circle, it looks like this is our crew right here. typically when I start off, I always say, is there any gratitude that you guys want to share? Anything that you've came across either at the office or outside where you'd want to share some gratitude, like an agent helping you out, or just even something personal to start off with a positive note on this inner circle. Adam, go right ahead.
We got a couple things to be thankful for. Number one is I finished 75 hard this past Friday. So that's been really awesome. And if you don't know what it is, it's just a mindset program, 75 days, gallon of water, 2 workouts, following the diet, reading 10 pages. So I did it last year, really built a lot of momentum to my business, did it again this year. And man, there's a lot of momentum again. So the energy's high. So I'm very thankful for that. It's a tough program, but I'm glad with the momentum that it builds. And then thankful just for being in the office too, just being in here, plugging in. I've got to learn a lot of cool things, had some really cool talks with Mark and some of the other agents in here. Just, hey, this is what's working for me, or hey, this is how I'm getting my buyers' offers accepted. So it's been a really good environment and energy. So I'm glad I'm just reviewing, where we were over the last 6 months, man. Just very thankful for where we are, where business is heading, and who's all plugging in on a regular basis. I appreciate you guys.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for the gratitude. Thank you, Adam. For those who are joining in, we are talking about gratitude. Just to start off our inner circle, that's how I always started off my inner circle when I was hosting as a TL. Is there anyone else that would like to share anything before we move on to a certain topic? Gratitude. Anyone else?
I am thankful that.
Oh, it was either Connie or Luce. Looks like
Go ahead, Luce.
Hey, Connie, you're beating me. Good morning. Just great to be here, everyone. Sorry for tuning in a little bit late. I'm driving through traffic here. Grateful for another beautiful day in Southern California, and most important that things are opening up and I'm able to see, many of you safe. So that's something grateful to have for sure.
That's good. Well, thank you for sharing. Safe is good. Connie.
Yes.
I agree with Luce. I am, grateful that, this today woke up, the weather was good. I was able to actually, it's been rough getting my personal time together over the last 2 weeks with the time change and the kids going back to hybrid school, but I was able to get up on time this morning for myself. And I'm also grateful for the phone call that I got from you, Mark, or else I wouldn't be on this call.
Oh, who got the drop? Who got the drop? Raise your hand. All right. Those are the tools. That's the tricks, the tricks and tips that I love. The leverage is key, and leverage is not just individuals, it's also tech. If you know me, I love tech, and it just took me literally 2 minutes to drop 112 voicemails. Just imagine doing that for your upcoming listings or for prospecting for listings. Was that effective, Connie?
It was. At first, I was like, no caller ID. I was like, who is calling me right now? But I listened to my voicemail, so it was you.
Got it. Gloria, is that the same thing? Because Gloria, I haven't seen you in a minute. Did you get my drop?
Was it a voicemail?
It was a voicemail. How did you hear about the inner circle? Was it the voicemail or the text?
Rob's text?
Rob's text. Okay, perfect. At least it's coming in different avenues. It looks like Adam got his, right? Mr. Juan Garcia. I don't think your video's on. Did you get my voicemail drop? Juan Castro is
so the answer is yes. Mark, I got your my wife got the same message too. We're like, who's this caller ID? And it went straight to voicemail. So it was like, got our attention for sure. So like, all right, that works. That was pretty cool.
That's why we're here.
That's why you're here. Exactly. No, and that's a key thing. Our focus right now, at least in our team, is to get to different avenues, to get more listings. And there's a lot of noise out there, right? I mean, what have you guys been seeing? Flyers. From what I heard, door knocking is somewhat a gray area, but some people are doing it. You got a lot of calls, but something different. I think the redundancy, the consistency needs to be broken in terms of a pattern. When I'm doing role playing with my team, we always try to break a pattern of of someone who's like, okay, yeah, I just been getting all these calls from real estate agents. What makes you different? Right? I think that's a key thing. So I guess that's my question. I'm going to put it out there. We could kind of roll with that. What are you doing differently to shine, either for buyers or for potential sellers? What are you doing differently that you'd like to share? Adam, go right ahead.
We got an offer open or accepted this yesterday, opened escrow and whatnot. And all I did was I called the listing agent ahead of time and just try to see where the seller was at. It wasn't like, hey, what price do we need to be at? Like right off the bat, I was able to get kind of an idea later. But first thing I just was like, hey, I'm Adam. We just showed the property at this time, told them how much about the clients since you can't send letters anymore, right? So I was like, hey, the kids will love to be in that backyard. It's amazing, this and that. Like, what's the seller looking for? Do they need a fast close? Do they need more time? My buyers are flexible. And then through there, just talking and building a relationship with the agent, complimenting the property. She staged the property. So I complimented the staging, just went from there like, oh my God, it was so amazing. So just really taking a phone call and a little, 10-minute chat just to sell your clients before you submit an offer goes a long way, because I was the only one who called, and she told me after, she's like, Adam, you're the only one who called to ask what we were looking for. And I really felt comfortable with you. So, one of the things you can do to really shine is call that listing agent, because maybe they do need a little more time and you put that in the offer where everyone else, it has to get countered, So those are the little things that do make the difference.
Got it. Rosie, Connie, Gloria, anyone on the floor, if you have a listing, you're representing the seller, out of all the bar agents that call you, like what is the best questions that they've asked, other than how many offers do you have and what's the price? Those are two common ones, right?
I'm on the other side representing buyers, and I try to call every single agent that we made an offer, and very few they respond. Very few. Yeah. And a lot of them are like always like in a rush, I think I have found about 2 in the last 3 months that I've been putting probably about 10, 12 offers. And in particular in one buyer, and none of them have been accepted. And I have talked to the agents and they say, well, I got better offers, better terms, higher offers, and they just quickly they want to talk very fast, and it seems like I can't break through, And
all right, write this down. This is a question that my team uses a lot.
Okay.
And it's an open-ended question. You guys all know the difference between open-ended and closed-ended, right? Raise your. Yep. All right, so open-ended question. Adam, other than price, what's a competitive offer your seller's looking for?
My sellers need a time to find their replacement property. That's like their biggest concern right now, because inventory is so low.
So they're looking for a replacement property. So it sounds like you need someone who's flexible and has more time, correct?
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
So then you then you keep on talking, and then eventually then you could ask like the price. So what does that number look like? You need to get them to open up first, right? And you're going to find out during the conversation what type of disc profile, how to go by that. Because Rosie, they're going to have a barrier in there. So many agents are calling them. But if you're breaking that pattern up front, the first 3 seconds, they're going to be open up.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the listing agent wants like the best deal for their seller, and they know what they're looking for their seller. So if you can actually, I would appreciate that as a listing agent. Ask me up front so I don't have to do any counter offers, or at least I know what the sellers need, because every seller it's different what their terms are. I mean, sometimes it could be just the price, but most of the time it's everything else.
Right. And what I've been getting a lot is, I have asked this question, but a lot of them say, well, they want the best, just send your best and highest. Some are pretty good, and some are very short. Yeah.
So depending like what's the best and highest, because my best is different from everyone else's, right?
Yeah.
So I want to work for not only for you, but also for your seller. So what is best? And don't give me numbers. Give me terms, because you can negotiate on terms too, right?
Mhm.
I have a question. As a listing agent, what's the best question you've received from a buyer's agent?
Anyone?
I
It's
still
really-
think it's that asking what's important to the sellers, because
Mhm.
right now terms is really important. Like we have a listing that's in the market today in Fullerton, and that was the seller's concern. Well, what if I need more than 30 days? You know,
Mhm.
we can talk about that. Like if that's what you need, then we'll make sure that's in the counter offer a specific time. So that's going to be, I still think that's one of the greatest questions, because it is open-ended and it's finding out what's important to the seller.
Adam, I want to circle back to your response about how you didn't write the letter, right? And you called the listing agent. Would you have called the listing agent still if you would have submitted that personal letter from the offer from your buyers?
Actually, yeah, I always call the listing agent, just because, you know, I don't always, that's like Mark says, like I don't talk about price in the first thing up front. I always try and figure out what's important to the seller first, just because I didn't realize I was breaking a pattern. I just wanted to know what our terms were, because of course everyone's going to say price, but you know, hey, what's this seller need? Do they need a longer escrow? You know, what do you need? Especially if it's someone who doesn't have a property identified, like a seller that still has to look. I tell the agent too, like, hey, I'll call the listing agent as well and tell them like about our buyers and where we are and how awesome our buyers are, so they feel comfortable accepting our offer. Because if you're that listing agent all the way at the end of the chain, you want to know that everyone's in communication. So I think I make the calls regardless. I've always been doing it. I didn't just realize it until right now.
Hi, Adam.
Yes.
I just got off a phone call with the listing agent, and we're competing with 3 other similar offers. And I said, you know what can I do to make their seller happy? Like, what do you want, a shorter escrow? What do you want? What can I do? And then she was like really thinking about it. We don't want no hassle. We want a smooth transaction. We already had to pay money to get the tenant out. I'm like, okay, we can do that. So for her to lean towards picking my offer. So
Perfect.
do you want donuts, coffee? You tell me. What do you want? Right.
Yeah, whatever you can do. I mean, especially in this market, it really is about relationships. I showed some properties this morning, and then since I knew both agents had a 714 number, I was like, hey, you guys probably sell in the Fullerton area, right? So I had the same conversation with both the listing agents. Say, hey, I have a listing coming up at this place. Do you guys have any buyers? Let's see if we can put 2 transactions together instead of 1. So assuming the sale and coming from contribution, because everyone likes to talk to their buyers about off-market properties, right? So whatever you can do to build that relationship with the agent, it'll go far.
Thank you for sharing, Angelica. Adam. Anyone else? Even for Juan Castro, Dinara. Juan Castro, I know you're on here. Thank you, sir, for coming in. I'm sure you're there
Hi,
with
Mark.
David. How's it
Yes,
going,
sir.
sir?
I'm doing good. You look good with that big old mic. I like that.
This mic is old school. People are like, wow, where did you get this mic? It's like, man, I've had it for years.
You
Before
got a little
the
DJ.
YouTubers.
You got a little DJ in your blood. Do you?
No. This
Okay.
is before podcast came up. So I
Looks
just
good,
wanted a
though.
better mic for better sound quality when we were doing the internal videos. But what
Oh,
have
you
you
hit it
seen?
on
I
the
mean,
head.
yeah, you work with a lot of top agents, a lot of listing agents. What have you seen successful for them, or vice versa for the buyers to get things rolling, or one thing that they've done differently that you've seen in the last few months, especially with COVID?
Wow. I think communication seems to be really important, where there's a lot of collaboration. As Adam and Angelica are talking about those individuals, and even with Nelson asking those particular questions, I think that's kind of what you guys need to, seems to me that they're focusing on, because it's not like all of us are facing similar situations. So the little gold nuggets that you guys are picking up is what people are paying attention to. I think people's are evaluating methods in the way they get themselves in front of their customers. I see the communication between the buying and selling agent much more active. I think that takes a huge role. You know, it may even introduce yourself to the escrow company, the termites, and all the other people as you are a team player. So I think you guys are doing it right. I think there's not much the other people are doing. I think they just have some, you know, maybe some habits and disciplines and that are, you know, just a little bit more spent time on, I would say. I don't think it's anything more. I think they've just been doing it a little longer than most.
That's awesome. Thank you. Communication is key. And it just reminded me the few listings that we had recently, not many loan officers call us or even reply back. I always, when we make an offer on the buying side, we always CC the lender on there, and we let the lender know, hey, reach out, just replying back, or even giving the listing agent a call. I know Luce is on the call here. Luce, does your team follow up on the offers? Like, how does that work with you guys? Or it depends on the agent too, right?
Well, what do you mean regarding what offers, Mark?
Let's say if me and you were working on a buyer and
Okay.
I made an offer, I would CC you in the offer, so at least you know the offer's in.
Correct.
And then I would leave your contact information in there. More than half of the time, does the listing agent call you, or do you proactively call the agent, the listing agent?
So, you know, we're definitely going in and introducing ourselves to the agents. It depends, you know, sometimes we don't even get a reply back, call back, text back, nothing. Some are really nice. You know, I know a couple of offers we've got accepted just because we talk to them and we let them know how our clients are well qualified. It just really depends on the realtor, right? Behind the scenes. Some are super nice, some are rude. So, you know, a lot of them just kind of return our email saying, you know what, there's 50 offers. We'll call you if we have any questions.
Yeah.
But it does help.
Got
It definitely does help leaving that message with the listing agents or sending them a quick text or a little bio about who you are, what you do. It helps. Definitely, they want to work with somebody that has a good reputation, that's been in business for a long time, and that has some credibility in lending. I think that's really important.
Fantastic. Thank you, Luce. Anyone else? Vanessa, Juan, the Garcia couple, power team.
Yeah, we like to let them know about us and just emphasize on, you can count on us, removing contingencies on time. We don't mess around. We want this to be a win-win for all parties. And we just let them know that we have, you know, experience, and we want to make it as smooth as possible, and just emphasize how we work, that we're reachable. They can call us and we'll pick up always. And that seems to help. Not always, but I know it's made the difference. I do remember on one occasion there was an agent that asked if we had a TC, and I said yes, and she's great. She keeps everyone on their toes. And he said, oh, good. I'm glad to see it, because I'm glad to know, because he didn't want to work with an agent that did not have a TC, because he knows it takes longer to get things done. So I think just opening up about who we are has helped. And so that's what we like to do, just kind of let them know we're in it, and just going to do the best we can. And they'll never have to chase us. That's the main thing. That will make life easy for everybody.
That is the communication. And I think that's the first great impression. I'm glad you brought that up, Vanessa. On our cover sheet, since we have our own internal team TC, we bring that up. But for you guys, you would want to bring that up and saying that we pay for TC. And you guys have that. You are right, Vanessa. There are some agents who are just working on their own, and I get it. Leverage is something that's hard to let go of. You know, delegation and stuff, and with this type of market, the listing agents want to really know that they could confidently close on time, and those documents are a key thing. Does everyone here use a TC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it. Anyone
Yeah.
who does not? No one?
Maybe that's one of the things that you could bring up too, is like, I have a TC, things will go smoothly, things will go faster, because that will, yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, because Vanessa brought it up. I there are some agents who don't, you know, different reasons.
Right.
So I get it. iPhone, I like to pick on people. I think Nelson knows that during the inner circles I've done. iPhone, are you there? Oh, Nelson is. Oh wait, where did iPhone go? You moved.
I think that's Juan Castro. Maybe he's doing.
Oh, you have two. Okay, got it. Oh, that's why he raised his hand.
Hey, Mark,
Yes.
I seen a buying agent mention to me about calling the listing agent about having what they called assignment of funds, being able to send one money over to the other money file from an up leg to, from a down leg to an up leg. And it gave the agent the confidence that that process would be facilitated, and thus giving them the ability to maybe close the following day. And if it were in a different county, even the same day.
Oh, wow. That's different. That's good to know. I think we'd like to hear more about that.
Is that the AMD releasing the EMD? Is that what? you're
No,
saying?
what happens is the down leg escrow gets the up leg escrow's instructions, and then the seller gives the escrow what they call an assignment of funds. Those assignment of funds go from escrow to our payoff. And then once we get confirmation, instead of sending the money back to escrow, we send it up to the up leg escrow.
Yeah, it never goes to the escrow company, Rosie. That bank pretty much sends it forward to the other one. So that it never touches the sellers as a proceed, and just goes straight to their up leg for their escrow.
Wow.
It will cut off at least 2 or 3 days, right, Juan?
Excuse me, one more time, Mark.
It would probably save like close to 2 or 3 days in essence.
It depends because of the wire cutoffs, you know,
Yeah.
depending on where the money's coming from and who's sending. So it varies, but obviously we like to say that 1:30, 2 o'clock is the cutoff, but there's some alternatives.
Is this like in the initial conversation with the listing agent, Juan?
Yes, it's in that fact when they're saying, hey, you know, how are we gonna, you when there's a more urgency, this fits an urgency for that person. So as you guys were really discussing about finding that seller's needs, maybe it is an urgency to get to the new home for whatever reason. Maybe he's got contingencies. I don't know.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. We got 15 minutes on here. I want to make this time efficient and effective. What do you guys would like to talk about? Any hurdles, any challenges that you want to speak about? Could be the buyer side, listing side, marketing side, technology, leverage. I know Connie was talking about, like, you know, balancing the time with the hybrid classes, and now with the time change, it's tough. And everything opened up. Like now we have baseball for the kids, dance. Everything's crazy right now. So I know Nelson had added horseback riding.
I mean, I'd be interested talking about the technology. I think I saw your post on Firestone, you know, sending a list, you know, and coming back with the phone numbers and address and stuff.
So that's just pretty much, it's not scrubbed like a farm list that you would get from Juan or from Nelson or any other title reps here. It's really just a circle prospecting out of from call information. I think Adam's used that before, where you're just looking at a radius or a certain mapped area, and I just drop in like 1,000 numbers, emails, and persons on there. I mean, you could kind of filter it very little of homeowners or renters or whatever. They are scrubbed with a do not call list, so I could send it over to you. Then you could definitely upload it to Mojo if you use Mojo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because I have my list, I just need to populate the numbers. But I think this
Okay.
is different. You're talking about.
Yeah, this is different. Yeah, that list you get, if you get that from farming from like Nelson and Juan, you could also pay additionally for the phone numbers and
Right.
emails from there.
Okay.
Rick the Tech, are you on here? Our tech guru, Rick. No, he's not. Okay, he's off.
I'm here. Sorry, I was handling an issue with a file this morning.
No worries. No worries. Well, we're seeing like, what are any hurdles or challenges? I know Connie had mentioned about more tech stuff, but anything that you like to bring up that you've seen the last few, offers or counter offers or even listings that you've had some hurdles you'd like to share?
No, the challenges, I think with the listings mainly is everybody looking to cut those commissions. This morning I was driving and I heard a commercial on the local radio in the area where there's a realtor charging $6,250 flat fee to do the entire transaction. That is including both sides. And I mean, it's just, I'm finding it hard to be able to compete with stuff like that. I know service is our key thing, but how do you compete against somebody charging $15,000 less than you would? That's a big one for me right now.
Anyone want to tackle that?
I would say that's not the client for you. Gotta stick to your standards. I know, but I mean, there's the clients, and then there's the ideal clients, and then there's the perfect client for you. I mean, for me, I just feel like for me, it's like I have to stick to my standards, because my standard is just that. And I learned that like a month ago. I think, Mark, I was talking to you about that.
Yeah, I do remember that buyer.
I had to let him go. I had to let 2 of them go because they just did not meet my standards, and I can't not lower my standards.
Yeah, I mean, I do that all the time with the buyers themselves. I mean, it's even if their schedules don't work with mine, or they put it all on their agent, that their agent is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But once I start working with them, I notice that it's them, so they're not a good fit for any agent. But with the listings, it's different. I think a little bit. I just lost 2 listings, or two possible listings, because the other agent charged 1% on the seller side. And I stuck to my guns of 2%, and yeah, I lost them both. And at the end of the day, I started to look at, well, I lost $12,000 on those 2 deals, because I would have made at least 1% on my side. So yeah, that's the most challenging thing I'm facing right now.
Rick, what kind of scripts do you use when a seller hits you with that?
You know what? It's not even so much the script. It's, to be honest with you, I mean, obviously, I play every single person slightly different. I've done them both where, you have to be careful with trying to pay less money. You could end up losing more at the end of the day, where the person that's willing to take such a lesser commission is also going to take a lesser offer for you, the basics that we're used to. But right now, the market, you're going to get ridiculous offers, whether you list for 1% or 5%, doesn't matter. And that's been the big hurdle. It's that the house is, let's be honest, the house is going to sell on its own by just putting a freaking sign in the front.
You know your
it
list to
is.
sell ratio, like your percentage? Like,
I'm
hey,
sorry?
my listings sell at 103% versus the average agent selling at like whatever percentage.
Well, yeah, I mean that's that you can show numbers and stats all day long, but a lot of these new sellers, they know that the market is selling regardless of what you do to it. So reducing the commission on some of these, I feel like it's gonna have to be a must, I think.
I think we should role play as an office. If anyone else is down, we should role play building value and talking about your value proposition, just because you got to tell the agent, like, yeah, you could throw it on there on the market, but if you're not marketing it properly, you are going to leave money on the table. Like we push that very seriously and very hard, just because we know that we're going to do more to get the seller's property sold. We could just throw it on the market and let it sell itself, but I think it's building that right value proposition where even if you're taking that 2%, I mean, I've taken a couple listings at 2% as well, just because I know the market is hot and we show that we do more. So I think that maybe that's the conversation we should really focus on, especially like April. You know, I think our season's starting late again, because inventory's been actually trending down. So I'm hoping that we'll see it happen what happened last year. Sellers and everyone starts getting ready to put their houses on the market, you know, end of April, May, and we see an increase in inventory then.
Well, that's a great segue to us. I was talking to Maxine, and we were going to do some script practicing on Wednesdays in the morning at 8:30, starting hopefully next week. Maybe we can talk about that a little further and kind of like get a group together for that on Wednesday mornings, if it works for some people.
Yeah, I'm up for that. I know there's different scripts that we got to use for this market. One of those for the sellers is definitely going to be that value proposition. Because I thought about that the other day too. 'Cause I talked to someone, he's like, hey man, one of my clients said basically the same thing. Like, well, what if I just sell it myself? Because, you know, houses are selling for a lot anyways, you know, and you gotta turn back, like, hold on, like, let's talk about the value proposition here. And if you don't know your value proposition, well, let's create one. Because that sounds like just scripting and role playing.
Yeah, the thing that I'm talking to her about is going to be where she's going to bring a book of scripts that she's going to make for us, or whoever shows up, and with a list of cold calling material that we can also use. So I think we're gonna start that next Wednesday, so that we can do it before Inner Circle.
Hey, real quick, I do want to mention something. We picked up a listing, and actually, mind you, it was actually a buddy, but he still requested, like, just wanted to know what the commissions were going for. So I created a commission analysis and went over with him what the commissions were going for in his area. And mind you, you know, and I did it pretty quick. Even with that, I already had anticipated we're gonna do, you know, being able to buddy that we're gonna do maybe, you know, like 4%. But after going over the analysis and showing them, hey, you know, the listings in your area are going, you know, even it was like active and escrow and sold, they pointed, you know, 4, 4.5, and 5%. At the end, just out of his own mouth, he was like, let's do 5. So I don't know if it's doing a commission analysis to show somebody that's thinking about taking, you know, one of these like agents that's doing the, you know, the 1%ers or whatever it is, flat fees. You could show them like, hey, you know, if you still want to be competitive out there with your commissions, and if you could prove like, hey, this is what the market's showing, it's another way to, you know, kind of point out, you know, what the market's doing with the commissions. So I don't know, just an idea.
So one, that's a great thing. So I show, my team, and you could even show your clients what's going on in the back end on the MLS, because you could see what the buyer's commission is for that, right? Have you guys seen that?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then you could definitely show that. I mean, you can't see the full amount, but you could show at least the small ones. The 1%ers are usually the ones that typically will be on the market a little bit longer and are lower than the list price, typically.
Yeah, the ones that were really low commissions. I mean, there was very few of them to begin with. And on top of that, the number of, you'd be surprised how many 5%ers that were sold. That, I mean, it was still pretty high.
No, I have a question. How do you know it's a 5%?
You know what? I'll take it back. I did try to look at if there was any dual variances and stuff like that. So I kind of rolled with that, hoping that just I didn't see anything about dual variances to kind of prove my point. But it was just enough that I was like, okay, they're offering, either on the listing side, I mean, to the buyer side, 2%, 2.5%, or 3%. Somewhere along the line. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna roll with this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your own market analysis, and if you could show enough proof, they're not gonna want to question even more. I mean, we went over it with my buddy, and he was totally cool with it. So,
and we said up front, this is under let's just, for the simplicity's sake, let's assume that the agents split the commissions evenly. So we kind of let them know ahead of time, like, we don't know for sure what the other side was, but let's just assume that this is what it is. And so based on that, we just kind of kept that conversation going, and they accepted it.
That's good. That's awesome.
Did they meet with any other agent that was offering a lesser commission?
No, they didn't.
No,
they did not.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Is
right.
Those are the battles that I'm having to fight right now. That
but maybe
with someone that's meeting with multiple people.
Right. And Rick, if you have that handy and that that does come up, you'll have a tool with you in front of you that shows that really it's from the local market. I mean, if it's the same as what we were looking at, that it's very minimal. And you can even reference back the properties that sold, because for us, it was sort of it was good to see that the ones that paid a higher commission also are the ones that sold fastest. So that was, yeah. So I think that was kind of what made him like understand and say, you know what? No, we don't want to pay 4. We want to pay 5.
How are you guys pulling that information? I mean, the commission is there in MLS, but how are you guys putting it together?
We just went to the MLS and looked at this city. And I don't know how far back you went, probably within the last 90 days.
I think I did 90 days. It's just depending if I had enough data. If not, I'll go a little bit farther out. So, and then just went over to the commissions.
Yeah, and then we just typed it up in it was one sheet of paper, and we broke it down by, 5, 4, and even higher. I don't remember how.
Yeah, I kept it simple where I put, 5, 4, above 5, below 4. And that's kind of just the way I did it. And then I put percentages, homes that are active, homes that are impending, homes that are sold. And it was a very simple page I did on Word, added our picture on it, and that was it.
All right, cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Awesome. I just put that on the screen too. You kind of see, you can add that on there, the buyer's agent commission right there. So you can pull it up. Perfect. I do have a link, guys, on the chat box. There is a MLS link there to my InfoSparks. That's what I have sold in comparison to the whole Downey board. This is a video that I placed against Remo on his commission. If you guys see that on Firestone.
Let's do it again, Mark. Let's pull both of them up. Almost all mine are 2.5.
Oh man, this is funny. All right, I'm gonna show it to you on the screen. So this is something that's static. When I say it's static information, it's real time. This is updated. I save the link on my notes on my phone, and I always give the link to someone who's questioning about my commission. Hey, well, they could do it for 1% more, well, or less. Well, I could sell it for 2% more, 3% more. So you're just averaging that. You look at that and you have it here, and you just use those stats against everyone else. So I'm the one in blue, and then there's at least a 2% increase there. So those things they can't really question, and they're going, you, as long as you have it in your arsenal, if they're high C and they're looking at numbers, then this is something that they'll appreciate. I know Remo has some tips and tricks he'd like to share too.
Well, this is more for Rick. So you were beat out on someone that offered 3% or 4%?
No, someone that took two different properties that the listing agent took them for 1% on his side overall.
And then what did he offer the buyer's agent? So 3 total, right? 4 total?
I believe it was 3 total.
3 total. I mean, how I would personally compete with that is I would take it at 2% all in at a certain price. And then once I step up to a different price, then it's at a, it's structured. So if I would say I'll list your home 0% listing fee if I get you this price or lower, right? If I get you between this price and this price, it's 1%, right? Knowing that in this market, you could probably negotiate it up an extra 10, 20, 30 grand without even really trying. So I would say, okay, if other than commission, is there any other reason why you won't list? And they say, nope, it's just commission. Say, okay, great. 2% for the agent that brings a buyer that's going to hold the deal together, because if we only offer one, as soon as there's a sign of anything, they're gone, right? And so at that point, then it's just my commission, right? And my commission, you don't have to pay me if we sell it at a number that I know there's no way in hell we're selling it at number because the market that we're in. And then I'll keep stepping up for every 20 grand, 1% or so. Setting it up to where I know even with comps that are lower, maybe set it up that way, that if the home run at that point, then it's a win-win, then it's 3% and work my way up to that amount. But I would say that's a pretty good way of competing with someone that's taking a 3% commission. You could take a 2%, but it again scales up. And then there was another comment regarding value.
Yeah.
And this is a humble brag. We just took an 8% listing. It was a more difficult sale. It was a piece of land with approved plans, and if you guys will post it on Firestone, and it's normally it's land, and you say, well, it's a lower amount. Well, it's 350,000, so it's not necessarily that low of an amount. So I really think it's the overall value. So how did we win this listing, right? So someone that reached out, I spoke the language, right? So I educated myself about construction, which obviously shows itself in many different ways. So in this case, they knew that I knew what I was talking about and understood the product that we're selling, which is their home. They knew that I was local, and they knew that the marketing and everything is good. Is enough where at the end of the day they're picking someone that's going to be a champion for their sale. So as we look at other listings, right, how do we separate ourselves from that, the next person that's willing to do, just price? And I think it's, I think Adam mentioned it. It's really nailing down, why you, right? What's your value? And I think the more we're clear about that, the more we're going to attract that. And the easier it is to say no to someone that is not kind of in our, doesn't make sense for you. So we're just Subway, right? When the owner of Subway, he doesn't make $5 for that foot long. The owner makes about 50 cents. And so a lot of this money that we, that you think is a lot is going towards this and that and this and that, right? So I think giving them that idea that 3% to the listing side for us, by the end of the day, we get, 30, 40% of that. So really, you just have to kind of draw a line in the sand and say, at what point is it no longer really profitable for me? And for us, obviously with the team and the overhead, there's a kind of a number that makes that we have to be there, or at that point we're just paying. And maybe that might make sense once or twice a year because we want to be in that area, or we want to have a sign there, or, different other, reasons that we don't know yet. But at the end of the day, we're for profit. And if we're not profitable in most of the transaction, then I'd rather, stay home and play with my daughter, hang out with my wife and our dog, because that's really the alternative. And when you say no to, these types of people, it opens up the opportunity for other things that you don't know yet. The end.
Oh, awesome, guys. Thank you. It looks like we're up at 11 a.m. Is there any closing questions or anything that someone would like to add before we take off?
Tomorrow's the first day of April. It's listing season. Now's the time. We got 6 months of prime time selling. I do think inventory will pick up. And if you're not calling your SOI, reach out to them, wish them a happy holiday, whatever you got to do. Just start getting in front of people again. More people are getting vaccinated. Get out there and touch your SOI, because that's going to be your number one source of business.
Are we allowed to walk neighborhoods?
No, but I would.
Just did it yesterday.
Good.
That's something that's more of a Nick question, and Nick, just go ahead and
He'll
run the
say
red
no.
light. Run the red light. Don't tell me.
Okay.
Wait, real quick. I need help on creating my 33 touches. Is there anything on Firestone that would show me that?
Online desk or just in general?
The Line Desk, but I'm about to jump from Line Desk to something else.
Are you just talking about content, or are you talking about like how to step by step?
No, not step by content.
Content.
And then adding the task. Well, I'll figure out how to add the task. It's
Yeah.
just adding those 33 touches.
The content would be good. You could always reference the MREA book. That gives you the rundown, the breakdown of what's included in the 33 touches. Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tag you, but I'm sure Remo and Adam could definitely share some touches with you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, if you send us a message on Facebook, we'll put you on our buyer campaign, and we'll deploy all the emails that a buyer gets once they sign up for something online. So send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Probably be the best with your email, and we'll deploy it to you. So you'll get 10 emails or however many emails right away.
Thank you.
That was my
Remo.
question too, so that's good. Can I do that as well?
Nope, just one person.
Oh.
No, of
You can
course.
message
Send
me and
a-
I'll share it with you.
Send me a message on send me a message on my personal account on Facebook Messenger with your email address, and we'll get it to you.
Okay, Remo, we're not friends on Facebook, so I don't know if you get my message. It's Connie.
Okay, no, I'll friend you. Don't worry.
Okay.
And then
I'm
I'll
not my friend either, Remo.
Same for
Well,
Juan and Vanessa.
What the
send the
heck?
request. Send the request, and then we'll get them
You
over.
just got new friends.
Be your friend, honey.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Remo.
All right, guys. Have a good one, guys.
Hey, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Mark.
Week strong.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Voicemail.
Thanks, Mark.
Productive. All right.
Okay.